This is Tim Staten with Tim Stating the Obvious. What is this podcast about? It's simple. You are entitled to great leadership everywhere you go, whether it's to church, whether it's to work, whether it's at your house, you are entitled to great leadership. And so in this podcast, we take leadership principles and theories and turn them into everyday relatable and usable advice. Hey everybody, Happy New Year. Just want to welcome everybody to 2022. The last couple months, we've been talking about goals and goal setting. But what I want to do real quick is, in this episode, share some feedback over the past 2 years from your support. But before I do that, I want to give a quick shout out to the following U.S. stateside states. North Carolina, Virginia, California, Connecticut, Texas, Kentucky, New York, Georgia, and West Virginia. You guys have had the most downloads this past year, and I wanted to say thank you for listening to the show regularly and sharing it with one or two other people that you thought might like the episode, and it paid off because they also downloaded. So thank you. To our international brothers and sisters, Canada, United Kingdom, Brazil, and the country of Georgia, thank you for listening. I never anticipated that, this podcast would actually get out there to the international community, but thank you for listening. You guys are the top international listeners as well. So thank you for listening and sharing this with other folks who might like this. Now, I started this podcast out 3 years ago, very hesitantly because I'm a naturally self-conscious person. But as a person, I've grown, and you've helped me with that. And because of my job, I have to be very careful about what I post and what I say. However, as I get to know the rules a little bit better, I can push the border a little bit more each and every year as I understand my left and my right limits. So here are the stats from the last 2 years that you have helped me contribute to this show. So I want to say thank you because it's really impressive on what you guys have done. So in 2020, my goal was to have 34 downloads in a month and increase that by 20% by the end of the year. So, that increased. By the end of that year, we were averaging 42 downloads a month, which was awesome. Now on the YouTube channel, I wanted to reach 35 subscribers that year. And we reached that goal, thanks to you. And the impressions rate, what people see on the windows or whatever when your thumbnails pops out, that was 4.5 thousand. And I didn't think that would happen, but it did, and I was very impressed with that. And then my click rate was 9.6%, which wasn't too good. But, I had the, 598 views for the entire year without marketing or selling or anything else, just pure word of mouth and people searching. That's what it hit. All thanks to you. So moving into 2021, our goal was to have 37 downloads a month. However, we averaged about 25 downloads a month. That was because of my lack of, predictability and inconsistency this last year. I had a lot of conflicts and, it is what it is, but we went down to about 25. But on YouTube, though, we wanted to get 37 subscribers because I was like, okay, if I can only get one or two more this year, then that'd be great. So we reached that goal. The impression rate, though, went up to 6.5 thousand. However, the click-through rate dropped to about 5.1%. So it dropped about 4%. But the annual views was 1.4 thousand, all thanks to you. And that's amazing, and I really appreciate you guys checking this out. And also, in the last 3 years, we've reached 1,000 downloads. So that's about almost 2 downloads per day if you average it out over the last 3 years. And that's all thanks to you. And I really appreciate your support and you guys listening in and you sharing the show with one or two people who you think might like it to get to those, stats. And I really appreciate it. Some people may say, well, those numbers aren't really that impressive. Well, to me, anything other than 0 is good. So as long as somebody's listening to this, then I'm happy. At least somebody's getting some value out of it. Somebody's getting some content value. And that's what's important to me. Now, moving into 2022, in the last couple episodes, we talked about how sharing your goals with other people is really important. So that way they know how they can help keep you accountable to your goals. So what I'm going to share with you is our podcast goals and our YouTube channel goals going into 2022. And by the end of the year, hopefully we can reach these goals. I think we have a good plan in place. I think we have a good content schedule in place for both both platforms. And, I've also, found a couple of new ways to use some social media to also get that out there via Instagram and Facebook and, of course, YouTube. So for the podcast, I'm going big on this one. I'm going to go for a 60% increase in monthly downloads. So that's about 40 a month for this year. That's the goal. I want to see if we can reach at least 40 different people a month this year to listen to at least one episode a month. If I can do that, then that would be super appreciated and awesome. Now, how am I going to do that? Well, I got to give you more content to listen to for that to happen. So I've got a good plan for that, but I want to talk to you about things that you want to hear about. So let me know. You can email me in the description below, or you can comment on this video and let me know. I will comment back and I will turn it into an episode if it's something that I can talk about. If it's something I can't talk about, I'll let you know, like, hey, I can't touch this topic, but I will do what I can to get around that topic to still meet the end desire for that episode. Okay. And this is how we help each other out. Also don't forget to subscribe or follow back and hit that alert icon on your platform that you're listening to this on. So that way you'll know when I drop new content. And I say that because I'm going to get to this a little bit later. That would really, really help out. All right. So for YouTube this year, currently we have, 37 subscribers. My goal is to get 49 subscribers by the end of the year. That's a 32% increase, and that's one a month, right? I think that's doable. The impressions, we're going through a 15% increase, about 7.5%, and I want to do at least, I want to try to achieve a 20% click-through rate. And so if I can do that, then I kind of need your feedback on that so I know what you're looking for. If you're willing to share, if you're not, that's fine. I'll figure it out one way or another. But what do you guys want to see? What do you guys look for when you look at the thumbnails? I've done a lot of research and everybody says everything, but I don't know if everything is what they're really saying is true. But if you click on it, I know what you say is true. So just let me know. So this year, if we end with 49 subscribers, that would be amazing. And I say that because 99.5% of the people who either are on the podcast or on the YouTube channel, you're unsubscribed. And that's fine. I'm glad you're tuning in regularly and I'm glad you're listening because that means you're coming back to the channel. But I'm not sure what it's going to take for you to hit that subscribe button and that alert icon. So that way you don't have to keep, guessing on when I'm going to drop new content. You can just get that alert notification. That way so you could just go there and check it. I don't want to waste your time. I read an interesting survey by a behavioral economist, and he was saying that the countries with the highest opt-in rate for organ donors are those countries that have you already pre-opted in when you go get a driver's license. The choice is already made for you, like, hey, you're going to opt in to the organ donor program as you get your driver's license, unless you check a box to opt out. Statistically, those countries have the highest opt-in rate because the emotional toll it takes to make that decision to check the box is too high. And so, I'm wondering if this is the same case for, these platforms, right? Those platforms aren't in the automatic opt-in. So as we head into season 3, just a couple days away, I wanted to get this feedback from you to see what I need to do to adjust along the way to make sure the content is what you're looking for, and also to make sure, that I can improve too. I've been doing this for 3 years. I try to do something different every single time. I try to do something to make the content and the quality better every single time. And what better way to get feedback than just to ask, I guess. I'm asking, what do you think and what do you want to hear this year? I've already got 6 months worth of content planned out. But if you make a suggestion that kind of fits in that schedule better, then we'll go ahead and make the adjustments as needed. It's a plan, it's a path, it's a gateway, but it's not set in stone. I do want to say thank you for listening, even if you're subscribed or not. But thank you for listening. Thank you for checking out this channel. And thank you for sharing this with 1 or 2 other people that might like it. And if you haven't, before we go, I would just like to ask if you could do that to help share the awareness for the show. So this year, we've got some good things coming up. So going into this year, I do pray for each and every one of you that listen to this, that your year is filled consistently with joy and optimism. You need to remember, you have everything you need within you to do whatever it is that you're trying to do. You don't need more. You have exactly what you need. So I just want to thank you for listening to this episode. I'm Tim Staten, stating the obvious.